Hello YouTube, hello my fellow Assassin's Creed players, and hello those who are just watching this video for the hell of it, just because, because of the title or whatever. And last but not least, hello Ubisoft, because that's who this video is mainly directed to. This video originally was going to be me talking about the good and the bad things that I've heard about Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer. Don't get me wrong, the single player, I'm not just a multiplayer person, the single player is amazing. And the multiplayer, it looks better than Revelations. But, I don't know, I feel like we've beat the dead horse a million times. We've come back to it, we've left it and then come back again, and just over and over again, and we say the same things over again, and you think that it would get through all the way, but it doesn't seem to, because today before today, let's go back, rewind a little bit. Before today, when they released the Assassin's Creed 3 multiplayer footage on, I believe, day 2 or day 3, one of the two, because obviously today was day 4 of E3, and I think it was day 2 that they released the multiplayer. Actually, now I'm sure of it. But anyway, I saw some good things. I did. I like most of the changes. But we're gonna go into the things that I don't like. And real quick, for those of you who don't want to hear complaining, for those of you who just don't want to hear it at all, just go ahead and mute the video and watch the gameplay, or just go to a different video of mine or someone else's. Go somewhere else if you must. But at least mute the commentary, because I don't need a flame war, as it's called, I guess, on my comment board, on my wall, whatever you want to call it. Because I'm here to complain, and for those of you who think I'm here to complain, and for no other reason besides that, you need to hear this. I posted it on Twitter, and for those of you who don't follow me on Twitter right now, I'll tell you that the only reason I complain is because I've seen and I've heard stories of other multiplayers that were dear to people and that they were in love with. I've heard of those going down. I've heard of clans being ruined and friendships being forgotten, and all these other things just happening in a negative way because some game company didn't listen to the players, and the game eventually just died off. No matter how loyal the fans were, the players, none of that mattered, due to either money or just because the game company didn't give a shit. And I'm here to avoid that. That's why I'm saying these things. It's not just to be an annoying person. I'm gonna try to keep this clean. I'm not going to curse, I guess. I'm trying not to anyway. If I have already and haven't noticed it, then oh well, too bad. But I don't know. We talked about Smoke Bomb. We actually got through, to Ubisoft through Twitter, telling them the Smoke Bomb problems with Smoke Bomb just by itself. This video isn't about Smoke Bomb altogether, but Smoke Bomb is the reason I'm doing this video, because I've been told that Smoke Bomb, yes, now has a 90-second cooldown, a very long cooldown, which is the same as Mute's cooldown is. But what I also heard is that it is now still, to this point in time, throwable in AC3. Now that, as soon as I heard that, my high hopes for Assassin's Creed almost plummeted completely down and stopped becoming hopes. And I would have screamed if I hadn't been in the place that I was, which was in the library of my school waiting for a ride back home. And I don't know, I feel like the smoke bomb being throwable was something that we stressed that was not a good thing about it. Yeah, we talked about how the height needed to reduce after the patch. The cooldown needed to, has always needed a larger number, and other things like that. But they gave it a bigger cooldown. I have yet to hear about the height and to know if we can still avoid it by going up walls and acrobaticking, or if it still knocks us off of walls and stuff. But I know it's still throwable. And throwable smoke bomb that you can throw, not drop, but throw. There's a difference. Smoke bomb that you can throw is cheap, and it takes so much less skill. And those of you who think that it's perfectly fine, most likely started playing when ACR first came out, or you just didn't play a lot of ACB and then you stepped it up on ACR. And that's what I call a spoiled ACR player. And I can compare it to an older man compared to a younger male person or whatever, just saying that, you know, we've got it easy now and they had it hard. It's the same thing. We had it to the point where I wouldn't say it was hard, but it took more skill, it took more timing, and all that kind of stuff, you know, to not have to deal with offensive smoke, or to get around offensive smoke or defensive smoke, any of that stuff. But now all you have to do is chuck the smoke bomb to avoid someone else throwing a smoke bomb at you. And many times I've had to waste my own smoke bomb during Assassinate or Deathmatch because I knew someone was throwing a smoke bomb at me. And midway through that smoke bomb flying through the air at me from down the street, I throw my smoke bomb. And I shouldn't have to do that. I shouldn't have to waste my ability because you're wasting your ability in a very stupid way. It's not something that should be that way. And that's just one thing, besides the fact that I shouldn't have to worry about smoke bombs flying at me from down the street when I'm focused on someone. If I'm on offense and I'm with Templar knives or disguising knives or something like that, and I don't have a smoke bomb, I shouldn't have to worry about, or even if I do have a smoke bomb, if I'm an O-smoker, I shouldn't have to worry about you down the street when I'm trying to kill your teammate who doesn't even know who you are or anything. I understand if you're on a coordinated team, but that's when you still need a throwable smoke bomb. You can come over and mute me or come down and do a backup smoke. You don't need a throwable smoke bomb from across the street. If I'm not focused on you, then you have, I don't have eyes in the back of my head. I'm only human, alright? That ticks me off. I hate that. Ubisoft, if you're watching this, if anyone from Ubisoft that has any kind of say-so is watching this, throwable smoke bomb needs to go. And I'm not the only one who feels that way. And there are people who think smoke bomb is okay to be thrown, but the number of people who don't think it should be thrown is much stronger in all that than the people who do think it should be throwable. And that's one thing that you need to understand. The next thing is that poison dart isn't able to be intercepted by civilians. First of all, that's unrealistic. I mean, a lot of things are unrealistic, but that is one thing that I think should happen, is that civilians should be able to walk in front of your dart and your gunshot, by the way, your hidden gun, that should be blocked by civilians. I was happy about that, and then I heard that it wasn't. So once again, another thing maybe you can fix before the game releases.
You have taken
another thing is that the RDM is back, the reverse detection meter, the one that builds up to incognito and allows me to get my kills stolen by rabid chase killing noobs who get 100-point kills, and I'm stuck with nothing, or I have to sacrifice an incognito for a discreet because I don't want my kill taken. You almost make it to the point, Ubisoft, where you've made it it's not worth it to get incognito kills. It's much more rewarding, as I've heard someone say, to get your discreets and your recklesses and maybe a silent, or one incognito per match for variety, and then do a bunch of other things for variety. I mean, if you want to go, there's a Giaquinto 718 has a video where he gets 17k, which was at the time the most legit high score there was for solo manhunt. And if you watch the video, he even talks about how he had to take crappy kills because he didn't want his teammates stealing his good kills, that he could possibly get. And so if the meter hadn't been the reverse detection meter, and it hadn't been a meter that works against good players, and even though it was purposed to slow noobs down, all it did was allow them to chase kill easier, because we're worried about getting incognitos. If it hadn't been that meter, Gia probably could have gotten a 20k or something like that. Like, maybe not exactly that many points ahead, but still, like, he could have gotten at least another 1,000 or another 2,000 on his score and gotten like an 18 or a 19k instead of just a 17. But no, because of that godforsaken meter, that horrible meter, he had to put up with a 17, and so did everyone else. That's just I'm only talking about his video because it's the only video that has that, but I'm sure there are people that have scored around that number too and could have gotten an even higher score if it hadn't been for that meter.
You have taken the
Now, of course, yeah, we should be able to adapt and all this, and that's fine. Yeah, adapting, I understand that. But I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense, especially that. And I wouldn't have such a big problem with the RDM if it built up faster and was less. It was more forgiving when you go into high profile and didn't go down so fast. And if while I was out of line of sight, I shouldn't have to deal with the meter going down. Once it builds up, it should stay there unless I go into high profile. Like, to be honest, that's how it should be, because that makes sense. That makes sense. So then another thing I want to bring up is kill buffer. I personally don't think kill buffer should have ever been a thing. That is just wrong. It's a waste of a perk slot. It's a waste altogether. Instead of using overall cooldowns in resistance or overall cooldowns in hot pursuit, or whatever that perk is called that helps your meter go down slower and build up faster, instead of having that, I have to have overall cooldowns and kill buffer, or hot pursuit and kill buffer, and that's just a waste. It really is. Now, if you're gonna keep kill buffer, Ubisoft, then do what, once again, Giaquinto said to do. His opinion I agree with. I'll link his opinion video for AC3 to this video, I guess, but I'm sure most of my subs are his subs too, so you've probably already seen it. But for those of you who aren't subbed to either of us, and you might see this video, then I'll link it there for you to go watch. But anyway, he talks about how kill buffer, there should be an automatic kill buffer to where you only lose one per stun, and then if you want to put on the actual kill buffer perk, then you shouldn't lose anything at all when you get stunned. It should automatically make it to where it's back to where ACB had it, where you don't lose anything when you get stunned. Which brings up another thing, talking about, the kill buffer helping you not lose points towards your streak. I don't know. I feel like the streaks in ACB were right where they needed to be. They weren't too hard to get, and they weren't too many points. You got an 1,000-point kill, and a 1,000-point kill, I can get that without a streak. But the fact that I got enough kills in a row to get that with a streak, that should have been fine. It's a good reward, but instead, in Revelations, you not only took points away from the streak. Instead of 750, now it's 550, but you made it harder to get, Ubisoft, because of contested kills and stuns, and kill buffer not being automatic, if not even there at all, and just letting us have our streaks and not taking anything away. So streak bonuses especially silent streak bonuses, almost aren't even worth worrying about anymore. Like, yeah, it's cool to get the streak bonus, but if I don't get it, it's like, oh, okay, you added 550 points, so what, I get a 750? That right there is a discreet or a reckless streak bonus kill, which is usually what you're going to get, because you're probably not going to get incognito or silent, because you get contested or stunned trying to get it, where you'll just not get the kill because your noobs will rapidly chase kill it. It's that kind of kill, a reckless or a discreet streak bonus, 7 550 or 5 550, is as much as a silent poison or an incognito poison would have been in Brotherhood. And I don't know, I feel like that just isn't a good enough reward for all the work that we put into trying to get that streak. I really hope someone is watching this video that has a say-so in Ubisoft Annecy, because I know Annecy is the team that works on, it's one of the places, no, it's the ACB team in the AC multiplayer. God damn it, I'm so sorry, and there goes the curse word, oh well. The team that works on multiplayer is in Ubisoft Annecy, and I really hope one of you guys is listening. One of you people that works there that has a say-so is listening and is considering all of this. Because I'm angry, but I'm trying to be civil. I'm trying to work with reason. I'm trying to think logically here. And another thing, now that I've gotten that out of the way, is that with streak bonuses, if you're going to give streak bonus to stuns, then make separate streak bonuses for stuns. Don't give us, don't make a kill streak work with stuns too. It's a kill streak, not a stun streak. And in my personal opinion, stuns should not be, there should be no such thing as a stun streak, because this is an assassin's game. A game made for assassinating. Assassinating means killing an individual. And I never heard anything about where stunning was supposed to be the priority. Defense is not the priority, offense is. It always has been. Should have been that way completely through Revelations as well. But to be honest, Ubisoft, you created a game in Revelations where offense is looked down upon and defense is what you're afraid of. Pursuers are afraid of their targets now. Targets are not afraid of their pursuers. I've never even looked at my pursuer. I don't respect my pursuer anymore. I laugh at him and say, hey, how many times can I corner stun you? How many times can I naked stun you without an ability? Dry stun you, whatever you want to call it. How many times can I get a stun on you? Not, okay, I'm going to stun you if I get lucky or if I put enough skill into it, and then I'm going to haul ass and get out of there and go find a new hiding spot. No, it's not like that. I need to be afraid of my pursuer. I mean, even at the level of play that I play at and the rest of everyone that I know plays at, my fellow professional players, we aren't, none of us, even the ones that, that watch our videos that are still learning how to play, I'm sure they're not afraid of their pursuers. They're like, come here, let me stun you. And especially with the throwing smoke, by the way, bringing throwing smoke back up. Throwing smoke really makes it hard to be afraid of your pursuers, because now they don't even have to be near you for you to screw everything up for them. And as soon as you stun them, if they have kill buffer, that makes them lose a streak point. And if they don't have kill buffer, well then bye-bye streak bonus. Which makes a pursuer want to run away from you and rethink their strategy instead of just going up and getting a kill like they should be able to.
Massacre.
Now, one more thing, really quick, while I'm talking about this whole video and the fact that I talked about how it's complaining in the beginning, but it's only for, because I don't want this game to end badly. It's on a downward spiral, and I want it to go upward back where it was in the days of ACB. Give me a second. Hold up. Okay, I was talking about that. Yeah, I'm not. I want for the best. I want good things to come of this. I'm not trying to get on anyone's nerves. but it's not just a game for me, and I know other people that it's not just a game for. This is our sport. This is our football, our baseball. This is what we are good at that resembles a sport. You know, this is our passion. This is something we love to death, and we put in endless hours to. And that's another thing. We put in endless hours into Brotherhood now. Most of us who were good ACB players back in the day, went to Revelations, realized it didn't have a ranked leaderboard, and then left it. We were like, screw this, because our scores mean nothing. Once we get a 20k in a mode, unless we have a recording device, which most of us don't, the majority of us do not record, unless we have a recording device, or we have someone in the match who is recording for us, that score means shit. It means nothing. Zero. Zilch. Nada. Nothing. Whereas in ACB, even though the Templar grade leaderboards are, you know, not even working correctly now, it still means something. It's still, you know, you can still get 3 top scores a week and be like, okay, you know, at least I have a marker to tell me how good I'm doing every week and if I'm improving or if I'm not, you know. We don't play for Templar grade anymore, but I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one who's trying to keep my own scores up just for personal, you know, just to make myself feel like all the hours that I put into this game means something in the end. And that's what Revelations took away.
You have finished first.
So to be honest, all that really stirred me up today was I was already kind of ticked off about the RDM, and I'm still on the fence about a few other things. But as soon as I heard that Smoke Bomb is still throwable, I wanted to punch something. I wanted to break an object of value. I wanted someone to understand how mad I was. So I tweeted out how mad I was, and people agreed with me. And some people said, no, we like Smoke Bomb, but that was 2 people. And the people who did agree with me were like 4 or 5 people. So do that, you know, little ratio in your head, and or whatever it's called, and you know, I mean, that's how it is in real life. There's like, with everyone, there's like 20 people max who are okay with Smoke Bomb, and then like 100 people who hate it completely, or something like that. You know, I mean, I'm sure I'm off by a certain number, but I mean, it's kind of like that. So I mean, please, Ubisoft, someone do something, because I love this game, we all love this game, and I'm sure that you all loved making it, and I'm sure you'll love making more, and I'm sure you'll love it the day that comes when we're considered one of the best multiplayers out, when we can compete with multiplayers like COD and Battlefield, because we're not that far from it. This game has potential, and I don't want it to go to waste. I love this community, regardless of some of the drama that goes down, and I miss the clans that were in Brotherhood that left because of the matchmaking and because of Smoke Bomb, and they stopped playing. And you know, I've talked to a few clans that disappeared. I've talked to them and I've seen them resurrect a little bit. They're trying to come back because they loved that game and they want to love it again. But it's hard to love a game that isn't fun anymore because it became noob friendly. And that's one last thing I just remembered that I was gonna bring up originally, is that maybe you're trying to open up the game for newer players, and that so that they'll keep playing and they won't get as frustrated. But I can't tell you how many people that I individually have taught how to play the game that have become great players. I mean, some of them quit because they didn't want to put up with Revelations. The majority of them did. The people that I knew that I had a hand in teaching how to play the game. But they became so good. And if this game was as good as ACB was, if Revelations and AC3 are ever, for some reason, back to where ACB was, which Revelations won't, AC3 has potential to, if that was how it was, then I personally would do so much. I would go back to the days where I used to teach people how to play. I would try to encourage Chachi to start up his ECA teaching thing. I would just go crazy because I would want this community to expand like crazy. All those newer players who shoot me and who run and chase kill me, I wouldn't mind teaching them if this game showed promise like it used to in ACB. And that's all I want. That's really it. Now remember that I'm only doing this because I want this game to succeed for more than just a few years. I want it to go on for as long as possible. And I hope someone's listening, because I lose sleep over this, and I'm sure other people do too. They're just not as talkative as I am, and as open and honest as I am. I don't know if I hit all my points, but I hit a good number of them, and I'm hoping that maybe something I've done here today has, done something to improve on this game. So this has been Apex 27. Leave a comment. Share this video on Facebook, on Twitter, anywhere that you have a social media site. Share it and make it known. Make people hear it. And if you believe the same things I do and you want to back me up, then that's what you have to do. You have to share this video. You have to like it, favorite it, comment on it, let me know what's up, let me know your opinions. I don't want any negativity, please. Try to keep your stuff respectful. Try to be respectful to other people who are commenting. And thanks for watching. Like I said, this is Apex 27, and I'm out of here.